Okay, we are going to transfer the SpaceBird's pattern to the pattern matrix. And hey, the idea is to get it pretty close. You can just look at the space between, like between the head and the rest of the square, the beak and the rest of the square, and you can just look at where it's intersecting. And of course, a full table of offsets is available. We've already done some of the dots. Here's x equals 10, y equals 0, x equals 9, y equals 3/4, x equals 8, y equals 1.3, x equals 7, y equals 1.25. So we have enough to come straight out and draw the beak there, come popping up, and go over to there, and we've got a pretty good head right there. We now go at x equals 7. We'll go ahead and number these. 1, large enough, hopefully you can read. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And y equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Actually, it's the y-axis starts over here, but you get the idea. So x equals 7, and y from 1.25 up to y equals 3. Just behind the line. So really you're at x equals 6.95, right behind that line. Next spot you're going to look at is x equals 8, y equals 5.5, right there. And next spot is x equals 7, y equals 8, right there at the very top. So we're going to connect that with a straight line. And this we're going to connect with a nice S-curve. If you'd like, you can plot a straight line and then use that straight line to go under and over and get a nice S-curve. Okay? Very nice. We're pretty close to our pattern. We're learning these spots. We're learning these dots. Once you learn it, you'll never forget it. Next spot we're going to go for is x equals 5, y equals 4, but really we want x equals 5.5, y equals 4. We want halfway up. This happens to be the center. See where that x crosses? Is the center of your pattern matrix. We're just half a cell up. So x equals 5.5, y equals 4, and we can do a couple of guides. Up here at x equals 5.25 and y equals 5.5, you can put, that's not quite a quarter, that's more like 5.2. Okay, a little less. And up here at x equals 6 and y equals 7, just outside of that, up this way, you can put a little dot. Okay, see? Right here, that's where the dot is. We're going to go just outside of that spot right here. That's the bottom of the wing. These are just little spot things to help you. Now you turn it and you use the natural arc of your hand and you do a nice smooth arc. And you can darken it in. Give it a nice heavy line. This is a pattern matrix. We're going to take this, we're going to take 4 sheets of paper, all cardstock. We're going to staple them together down here. We're going to cut it all out, and you're going to end up with the bird that you can build. You can also go ahead and do the pattern.
Couldn't see the bird because it was over here.
Couldn't see the
too
bird.
far zoomed in.
Okay. I don't want to talk about that right now anyway. We'll find a way through this. Okay. Okay, the next spot we're going to do is we're going to get the back of this arc right here, and that's x equals 5.2 and y equals 1, 2, 3. So x equals 5.2 and y equals 3. 1, 2, 3. So right here is our next spot. Alright, next one would be right down here, x equals 5.25 and y equals 1. x equals 5.25, y equals 1. Alright, and we want to draw this under here. I know that this next one is x equals 5, y equals 0.75, so 3/4. This is at a quarter, this right here. This is the intersection of 5 and y equals 1. So we're going to go diving underneath. And connect just like so. We're going to go straight across between 4 and 5, between x equals 4 and 5 at y equals 3/4. That's going to be, alright, darken this in. So this passes right through y equals 3/4 and y equals 1, x equals 5.25, right there. Can't miss it. This really looks good. Okay, next points we're going to get is we have the same relationship over here. This is at a quarter away from that intersection, and this is at a quarter away. So we're going to give that a radius. See? And now we're going to be drawing a line. The next spot to concern ourselves with is x equals 3, y equals 2. X equals 3, y equals 2, that's right here. We want to go just outside of that. So we're going to just draw a line approximately where we want to pass. Here we're going to pass through x equals 2, y equals 3. X equals 2, y equals 3. And we're going to land at x equals 0, y equals 3.5. X equals 0, y equals 1, 2, 3.5. So we've got two lines to connect. I'm going to use a straight edge here. We're not going to go much past there. And we're going to go right up here. Now that looks a little shallow. We want to go a little deeper that way. One thing you can do is look at the shape. Here's an example. The shape right here of the... One thing you can do is look at the shape of the negative space right there. And you can see that you need to have this passing through roughly there. You draw it in kind of light and you say, yep, that looks pretty good. And remember, you can go outside these lines. You absolutely can draw outside the lines. You absolutely can change it and make it better. Publish it back to the site and teach everybody about your improvements, and we'll debate whether they are in fact improvements. The proof of the pudding will be in the seeing and the flying. Okay, next spot we're going to do is we want to draw a line from tip of the tail down to, I believe it is, yep, the base of the tail, which is x equals 2.35, y equals 0. X equals 2.35, y equals 0 is right here. And now we're going to take and connect just a short section right here, right until you get about to 2.5 and stop. Next point is x equals 2.25, y equals 1.75. X equals 2.25, y equals 1.75, right there. And just above the base of the tail, x equals 2.75, and then y equals 0.75. So that little vertical right there is the back. We can connect each of these dots, and we've got the basic outline of the bird. Once you learn how this is done, you can submit your improvements and you can submit your exact designs online, and if we really love it and it really is original and it really is new, maybe we can name it after you. There'll be a naming committee of sorts. So there you go. Now we're going to take this, as we said, and we're going to stack it on 4 sheets of paper, and we're going to staple it. We're going to cut that out as a group, and we're going to move on from there. From that point forward, you'll have the cut pattern, and you'll know how to build a bird or make a what's called a flat pattern, which is the same 4 sheets. You just glue them flat, and it becomes a nice stiff pattern. Here's one right here. That one has been curved a little bit, so it has some more stability. But that right there, look at that. That's a hand-drawn pattern, and look at the match we just got. All right, that's copyright 2013. You fly now. SpaceBirds are there for you to build. You can build them for your own pleasure for free using your own materials. We of course have kits we will have for sale, as well as ready-to-fly birds. You can experiment, you can do lesson plans around it. If you're a teacher, you can sell them. If you're an artist, anyone who's an individual or a group can sell them without a contract, and it's a buck a bird royalty. Buck a bird to spread the word for SpaceBird's Education Foundation. We'll have a way to do that online very shortly. In the meantime, enjoy building the bird. This is Birdman Schultz, and this is a SpaceBird, and I'm looking forward to seeing you online and in the air.